So today we are going to learn in a very innovative way the word communication skills and confidence building. So before going into the further slides, I just want to tell what is communication. So communication, it is a process of sending, receiving and understanding message. When I'm saying sending, receiving message, that means it involves the exchange of ideas. It involves the interest, understanding, and the ability to speak fluently and clearly. So basically, communication, it is the process by which we can share our ideas or we can share our understanding. So the next slide, it shows the communication skills. As the slide says, it is a science to live. It is a science to live with and an arts to share with. That means for a good communication, skills are essential. So these skills, they are the heart of interpersonal skills. We can say that these are the interpersonal skills, and greater our awareness or how it can be worked, the more effective our communication will be. So developing a communication skills, we can help us to in all life aspects, like from our personal life to the social gathering. These communication skills are most important used. The next question arises, why do we communicate? The main question is, why do we communicate? We communicate for a variety of reasons. Like we communicate to share informations, like comment, ask questions, express our wants and needs. That's why we are communicating to one another. There, it also develop social relationship. Social etiquettes can also be done by the communication, proper communication. In colleges or schools, these communication skills can be used by writing rules and laws, consulting, for expressing our creativity, for expressing our life philosophy. This is the main point. We can also express our life philosophy by the means of communication. Publicity and advertisement, we can also publish and advertise our organizations, like our project works in colleges, charts and videos, the documentary videos in school level. So by communication, we can also publicity and advices. Network with people with a common interest, we can also network with the people. So at this point, we can also say that communication is much more than a wants and needs. That's why we are using the communication process. So the next is the most common ways to communicate. I characterized into four: speaking, writing, visual image, and body language. Speaking, that means expressing information or ideas by the word. That means we are using here word from our mouth. So we can say that the word of mouth is used in the speaking language. Writing, one thing more, in speaking verbally, transmitting informations and ideas from one individual to a group of individual can be done. That means in speaking, we are using a verbal transformation of speaking. Come to the next point, that is writing. Writing means we are it is an important, we can say, the parameter in schools work and in everyday activities. We are, because we are using writing communications, it creates a permanent records, and this can be easily distributed. And the one thing more, it allows us to store information for the future reference. That is, we can also use this information for our future use. And this is the permanent means of communication, because it cannot be erased by after. Then comes the visual image. Visual image, in this visual image, we are using visual elements. Visual elements, like we are using maps, symbols, signs, logo, gestures, images, drawings, and photographies. So these come under the visual image of communication. The next one is body language. Is this, can we say there is a language beyond verbal, linguistic, and visual communication, which is expressive, because it is a body language, so it is more expressive, and it is loaded with denotations and connotations, meaning, and it comes none other than body language. So body language comes in clusters of signals. It can be come from the clusters of signals, postures, depending on the internal emotions. So I personally feel body language is the best way to communicate with one another. The next slide shows the public speaking. I personally feel public speaking, it is also a process of communication, because in this information, or I can say the presentation is done in a live audience. Public speeches can also cover a variety of different topics. We can also use variety of topics depending upon our stream. We can use those topic in live audience, or we can say we can also use in a workshops, in colleges workshops, the seminars. So this is also a public speaking parameter. Public speaking presentation is differ from the online presentation, because the online presentation, it is available throughout the time, but a public speaking is typically limited to a place or time. And the last, it is this public speaking, it entertain a listener audience. We can also entertain by our words, by our phrases, we can also entertain audience. Next, important of public speaking. These are the parameters which I suggest that these are the public speaking importance. One proverb by the Merriam-Webster, she said that public speaking, it is an act, or we can say that the public speaking process, making speeches in public. So she said these public speaking parameters, they make a speeches, we can use speeches in public. Art of effective oral communication with others, it is a basic art. We can communicate with others, with an individuals, or we can also say the group of individuals. It promote critical thinking. Critical thinking means we are making an informal judgment based on evidences. On evidences we are making judgment. That's why I'm saying it is also a critical thinking. Next is advances career goals. The main point which I consider is the advance of career goals, and the next is it is also a sense of empowerment in a personal life. It is also public speaking, it is also a sense of empowerment, because it is the feeling of the ability to attain the certain goal, to attain a desired goal. It is the importance of public speaking. So other points are also mentioned, that it also differentiate in your workplace. If we have effective public speaking, it is also differentiated you from your other colleagues. It gives you opportunity to promote yourselves, to make your business successful, because if we have that accent to do our best in our stream, we can also make our business successful. We can also impress by our words to others, and it will also increases our knowledge, and it also demonstrate knowledge at the same time. Next, the basic communication process. So this is the generalized diagram of the basic communication process, like sender to receiver. It is the basic layman language. If I say message is sent and received by the receiver, and after that the receiver will give the feedback, that is that giving communicate is authentic or it is correct. This is the feedback which is given by the receiver. So one by one I will define the word sender, messenger, the messenger channel, and the receiver. So first, the basic thing, the first parameter in communication process is the sender. What is the sender? Sender is the person, or we can say the person which initiating the communication, or it broadcasting the message to the receiver. We can also say that sender is a source of information, or we can say the communication, source of communication. It convey the message to the receiver, and they can be individual, group, or we can say the organizations. Then after sender, this is the message. Message, we can say that the specific set of words, gesture, and the image. Message can be also a specific set, we can say a set of words. A gesture can also be a message, image that can be sent to convey what he or she wants to convey. So one word, if I say to the message is what to be communicated before communication take place, and it can be a purposeful, or we can say that it can be an expressed view. It passes between a source, that is the sender, and the receiver. So it is the channel between sender and receiver. After message, we are coming to the message channel. What is message channel? Message channel is the medium of message transmission from sender to receiver. That is, it is the channel between sender to receiver. And channels can be auto visuals, channels can be print media, channels can be mechanisms of face to face contact. So these are the channels through which the message move from sender to receiver. It is the pathway in between sender to receiver. At last, receiver. What is receiver? Receiver, it is the target location of the communication. It is the target location where we want to give a message. So it is the target point for the communication, and it is the object to whom the message is directed. So we can also say it is an object. After gaining the message, the receiver, after gaining the communication, the receiver give us feedback to the sender. So feedback, we can also say that it is a check on how successful we have been transferring the message, and it determines whether the understanding is correct, or we can say the understanding has been correctly achieved. So the response from the receiver to the sender is called as feedback. So this is the basic outline, the communication process, like from sender to receiver, sender and to receiver. In between the we have message and message channel, and after that the communication is received to the receiver. The next is the types of communication skills. So before, we have in previous slide, we are saying that communication, it is the idea of exchanging thing. It is the process of imparting, or we can say the exchanging of informations, ideas, facts, opinion. So on that basis, communication can be broadly classified into two: verbal and non-verbal. The name suggests verbal means in this we are using words, whether it will be written or oral. So in verbal languages or in verbal communication, we are using words which can be written or which can be orally presented. On the other hand, non-verbal, that means we are here using a phrase expression, we are using a body language, the eye contact. These are the non-verbal types of communications. So this is the basic diagram of verbal and non-verbal. In this, I just want to say one point. In verbal uh, communication, the face expression is the main important, because by this it is possible to tell the mood of a person by bodily or facially. And I personally feel, because in facial expression, or we can say the face expression, are very important, and it gives what the other person is feeling, and it also gives us confidence that yes, that person is gaining the information which we are going to deliver is correct. And I personally feel the face is the first thing which we notice in a person, and the facial muscles gives out most common the human expression, and which at some time it will be very, because it also adds confident in us. So in non-verbal, we can also say that they are the parts like pictures, maps, signboards, photographs. They are the non-verbal types of communications. And in verbal, we are using the oral, written and visual types of presentations which are used in verbal type. So the next is these are the diagrams, clips of written, oral and visual. So if I'm saying the written verbal communication, that means I am saying that oral presentation, written verbal communication indicates that we are using a specific sign, we are using a specific symbols to communicate to other person, or we can say a group of person. And it has a great significance in today's world, because it is an innovative mindset. It is an innovative, we can say that the activity of mind, it in written communication. And effective communication, we can say effective writing communication is essential in today world for the promotional material. It can be used as a promotional material for your organization. It can be printed and it can be handmade. And this type of communication can be transmitted to emails, it can be transmitted to letters, reports, memo, etc. We can also transmit it. These are the parameters by which we can transmit it, our information in the phase of written verbal communications. And messages in the written communication, the most important is the vocabulary. They are influenced by the vocabulary, because grammar used or writing styles, or we can say the precisions and the clarity, it always account first in if we write any written verbal communications. Next, oral verbal communication. In oral, that means we are saying such thing by the mouth, we are delivering any lectures, we are delivering any type of material from our stream to to our students, or in our groups, in our friend group. So these are the oral verbal communications. Spoken words are used in this. The spoken words we are using in terms of communications, it include face to face conversation. Face to face conversation means we are in meetings, like meetings, lectures, conferences, interviews. In that, we are using face to face conversation in oral verbal communication. Telephonic conversation also come in oral verbal communications, like radio, TV, voice over internet. These are the examples which we are used in oral communications. And this communication is influenced by pitch, volume, and the clarity of the speaking. If we are not clear at what we are saying, it would not deliver in a good sense which we want to deliver. So in oral, the main drawback is the pitch. Your pitch should be good, your volume should be good, you doesn't slow down your volume if you are giving the oral presentations. And clarity, the main thing is clarity of speaking. The next is in oral communication, it generally recommended that the communication matter is temporary kind, or where the direct interaction is required, because in oral communication, interaction is the main important point. Then next, it is only time saving. We can say that oral communication, it saves our time and money and efforts, because we are orally expressing our products, or we are orally expressing our subject, the subjective point. If I talk about in college, then we are orally explaining the students. So it is the best in case of problems resolution, because the conflicts or disputes and many issues, or we can say the differences, it can be put to an end by talking them over. So this is the best conversation I would prefer, because these convocation, they, the dispute, or we can say that the issues, the differences, we can clear face to face. That's why oral verbal communication are used. The next is visual verbal communication. In visual verbal communication, I am using the elements, the visual elements. So in visual, one thing we can say that the more you see, the more you learn. This is the famous proverb by Huxley: the more you see, the more you know. So it is the communication of ideas through the visual display of information. By visually, we can understand this type of communication. Visual signals can be given by various means, like movement, the posture, the shape of the body, the facial expressions, the color differences, or we can say the light. So these are the visual. By viewing from our eye, this type of communication is achieved. So visual communication, it is also, we can say that images, and the images, they also relay messages. Many different aspects of reality can be represented through image, like comics, like drawings, like maps, pictures, advertising, campaigning, information graphics, like information graphic, I'm talking about the computer graphics, and social campaign. So these come under the visual verbal communication. So these three, they are the parameters of the verbal communication, in that written, oral, and visual verbal communication can be achieved. So the next is oral non-verbal communication, that is, it is the transmission of message, as I already told, by which this verbal non-verbal platform can be attained by eye contact, the facial expressions. You have proper gesture to accommodate this non-verbal communication in your day-to-day activities. You have that posture and the distance between two individuals. Sorry, these are the examples, or we can say the parameters which come under the non-verbal type of communication, like eye contact. Proper eye contact is necessary. Gesture, your gesture should be erect, your gesture should be good to other person by seeing that personal space is also required. Posture, facial expression, and physical contact, these are the parameters which are suggest in non-verbal type of communication. Next, barriers to communication. Now we proceed to the barriers to communication. Barriers means the blockage. Barriers means the blockage in communication by other or other means. These can also be said that the obstacles that keeps the people or things apart or prevent communication or process. So these are the barriers. We can also say the lack of time. Lack of time is also come under the barrier of communication. Fear of confront is also a barrier to communication. And the culture difference, the main is the culture difference, because culture is the main hidden personalities in everyone is not so good at to express in their own culture, in their own languages. So this is the barrier of communication which I prefer. So regardless of the type of communication which we have already discussed in our past previous slides, like oral, written, visual, if we do not communicate effectively, we put ourselves and others at risk. This is the main point. So no matter how good the communication or how good the communication skills, unfortunately barriers can do often occur. So first barrier which I considered in communication, and these all barriers which I pointed in my slide, they are those which makes our communication or which makes our message doubtful for the reader to understand it, and they get confused to interpret it, that the meaning from which the message is sent to them. So these are the main points which are included in communication. First barrier which I think comes under communication is the physical barrier. Physical barriers, that means I'm talking about the physical infrastructure between sender and receiver. And these barriers, they are related to the physical arrangement, like distance, noise, doors, walls. These are the physical infrastructure barrier which comes under sender to receiver. That means if sender is giving information to the receiver, and these barriers, they produce noise, so they are not going in that proportion which sender wants to give the receiver. Second is the perceptions. The perceptual means we are internally thinking that the person we are talking isn't have interest, or we can say that isn't showing that much interest what we are want to say. So this is a perception, that we are internally thinking that yes, the other person which I am saying to something, they are not getting that point. So this is also a barrier, and this is the internal barrier which we are creating in our communications. Next is the emotional. Emotional, that means when we are taught to fear our own words, we are fearing how to speak my presentation, or how to deliver my communication to a group, or we can say to an individual, or to a or in a class. So it is a type of barrier which we as a students we all already facing in some classes or in our lectures, that we are emotionally barrier in surrounding. Second is the next one is the cultural barrier. Cultural means we are living in a shrinking world. We are not exposed. We are becoming the introverts in our own vision. We are not extrovert. We are not used to used to have space in our friend circle, so we are using this type of barrier. Then the next barrier is language. Means that hidden language is also a type of barrier which I think in communication. Then the next is the gender is the main, that means men dis true words of women and vice versa. This is also a gender equality, we can say that. And these are the barriers which I think occur when we communicate to a group of when we communicate in a surrounding. So these are the barriers which comes under communications. Next is the 7 C's of effective communication. What are the 7 C's? 7 C's, we have already discussed that effective communication skills is necessary, and 7 C's type of communication which would help us to attain our goal, because these we can also say that these are the certain principles of communication. The 7 C's, these are the principle of communications. They are called 7 C's because of their principle, because these principles, the letter begins with capital C, that's why they are called 7 C's. And these 7 C, by the help of this, we ability to communicate effectively with other and considered a good quality of successful people by helping or by indulging or by awareness of these 7 C qualities. Anyone can attain a good quality of a successful people in a proper communication manner. So in order to compose a effective oral speech, or we can say that written message, we just need to understand the psychology of our client, of our organization, and the community by which we can express in a very good manner. So the 7 C's of effective communication, it combines with principles which would help us to attain our goals. So first in 7 C's, I'm taking the point. The first point in 7 C is clarity. What is clarity? Clarity means be clear about our goals, be clear about a message. While when writing or speaking to someone, we have to be clear, because clarity is the soul of the message. The word clarity, it has the soul, and which we are delivering to other. That means accurate transfer of ideas from a sender side to the receiver side, it terms clarity. And this clarity, it comes from the clear thinking. If we have clear thinking, we can write up topics in a very accurate or very clarity manner. So good message, it shows the idea directly, or we can say the clearly. Confusion and misunderstanding, confusion and the other one is misunderstanding, they will result lack of clarity. If we are confused about our words, if we are misunderstanding that what we have to write or what we wanted to write, so this will result a lack of clarity in our communication. So to overcome this clarity, we have to keep following points in mind. Number one point which I consider, that use of common and simple language. Don't use a complex language to your presentation or in your communication. Always use common and simple language, because it is more likely to be used or more likely to be received by the other person. Always use common and simple language. Second thing which I considered clarity is construct effective sentence and a short paragraph. Never go for the big paragraphs, or never use the large words, or we can, there is synonym words which are not used by the which are not seen or we cannot understand by the other. Always use constructive effective sentences and the short paragraphs in your communication style. Avoid unnecessary information. Never you go for the unnecessary information in your communication. It will lack clarity in your sentence. And use concrete words instead of abstract word. Always use the concrete word, targeted word, always used in your phrases. Never use the abstract word, which is very doubtful case in the type of communication. So this is the clarity of communication, or this is the clarity point of 7C of effective communication skills. The second thing which I wanted to clarify to next is correctness. What is correctness? Correctness means language experts, they always say that writing is an art but difficult to deliver correctly. We can write effective writing, we can go for the beautiful words in our writing phases, but it is a farly different difficult manner to deliver that writing. So message which we are trying to communicate must be correct. That message which you are delivering to individual or group of personalities or group of individual, that should be correct. Refer to correct grammars, punctuations and spelling. That should be the main target which we are using in communication skill. The correctness is the basic things. Correct grammar should be used, correct punctuations should be used, and the correct spelling. Next, as we all know that mistakes, they are never intention, yet we are using that mistake, or we are going with that mistake, and that will fairly spoil our image. So to achieve we can say the correctness in our communication skill, we have to be follow some points, or we have to be kept some points in mind. First point, incorrectness which should you have to follow, that is the check the accuracy of facts and figure. The facts and figure which you are using in your phrase of communication, that should be correct. That should be like, if we are saying that dash dash is was birthed on 1940, that figure of fact should be correct, because it also imparts our image to that person, in front of that person. Next, check the mistake in punctuations, the grammars and capitalization. The word should be correctly placed, like punctuation should be correctly placed, grammar should be placed. And the last one is capitalization. Capitalization should also give beautiful impact in communication skills. Check the misspelled word. Never use the misspelled words. Always check before you deliver or before you giving to some other person. Always check the misspelled word, and always use the right level of language. Never go for the different type of language. If you are giving your lecture in your native language, that's okay. And if you are giving in the English language, that phrases must be correctly fitted, the phrases must be rightly level of language can be used in that type of communication skills. So next, in communication skill, I'm taking the conciseness. Conciseness means concise, brief, complete. That means I am taking the word in a brief manner, in a concise manner, in a short manner, and in that it save time and it expense for both sender and receiver, because we are consigning to our words. So it also means complete, or we can say that diction lies in consciences. It save time and expenses. To achieve this quality, or to achieve this communication skills, we have to include only relevant material in our communication skills. Always use the relevant material. Avoid unnecessary repetitions, because if we are using repeat and repeat same words again and again in a phrase, it will look awkward, and it will not to the appropriate mark. It will not come under the concise manner, the brief manner, the complete manner. So always avoid unnecessary repetition in your words. Remove the wordy expression. Never use the wordy expression again and again in your communication skill. So these are the parameters, or these are the main points which we are used, which we can use in concise manner in our communication skills. After concise, I'm using courtesy. Courtesy means politeness. Courtesy means we are using politeness to other person, and it is the important quality of the messenger, because everyone gains where courtesy resides. It is an old but wise saying. Courtesy also means that sweetness, the politeness, and it is an attitude that shows respect for others. and it is also building a goodwill in ourselves. So it is also an important parameter which we can use in our communication skills. And to achieve this courtesy communication skill, what points we have to mention? The first point which we have to kept in mind before communicating this type of courtesy, we can say the communication skill: be sincere. First, be sincere. Avoid humor. Never uh, use these type of humorous words in your communication. If you are communicating to an elder, or if you are communicating to your teacher, your mentor, so avoid humor. Use expression that shows respect. Always use that expressions that merely shows your face expression, your merely shows your respect on your face expression. Be thoughtful and appropriate of the receiver point of view. Always be thoughtful and always appreciate the receiver. The receiver point of view is main, fundamental, we can say the main point in communications skills. And the last which point we would add in courtesy is avoid discriminatory language. Always avoid discriminatory language like race, color, gender, greed. This will not good in your courtesy communication skills. So always avoid discriminatory language in your courtesy communication skills. So after courtesy, the next communication skill is, it means a specific words I'm using in my communication skill. It means meaningful and clear. Be clear with your words. If we are clear at our words, it means it helps the receiver to understand the exact idea what sender wants to give to that person. And the concrete use of available facts and figures, it also adds authenticity to the message. That means if we are using the concreteness in our lectures, or concreteness in our communication skill, it adds a authenticity, and this is also a good parameter which we are using in communication skills. So to achieve this communication skill, following points I would want to share. First point: use clear and image building words. Always use clear words and always image building words. It's add on positive sign in your correctness in communication skills. Use specific facts and figures, and use active voice than go for the passive. Always use the active voice, never go for the passive voice. It will create such mess. So always go for the active voice parameters in concreteness of communication skills. The next after concreteness I would mention consideration. What is consideration? Consideration is like we are putting ourselves in the place of receiver. We are considering that we are the receiver and we are getting the message from the sender. So consideration is like we are putting in place of receiver, means we are preparing every message with the message receiving in mind, and it is the mode of concentration. And it also impart your attitude, what your attitude goes in that communication skill, that imparts by the considerations. So because when we are truly considerated, we try to show sincere gratitude, or we try to give the sincere regards for his or her interest or belief, because we are receiving the communication skills, so that should be considered as good. We are giving a positive sign to the sender. So to achieve this type of communication skill, we are focusing on, always focus on you, never focus on we. So focus on you instead of we. This is the main achieve, we can say that in concentration communication skill. Be sure about the benefits of the receiver. The most important point, always benefits of the receiver has to be kept in our mind. Use positive and optimistic word, never go for the always use positive words, or we can say the optimistic words. Consider the needs and problems of the receiver. This is the uh, main point we can say in concentration, always consider the needs of other person, always consider the needs, or we can say the problem of the receiver. So these come under the concentration of the communication skill. After consideration, the last is completeness. What is completeness? Completeness means we are completed each and every points in communication skills, and this is the last parameter which we are going to explain in communication skill, like message should be complete to bring the desired result. What we are giving the message, that is the last the point which we can say that we are gaining the desired result from completeness. So for completeness point of view, we have to provide all the necessary information. If we want to get the desired result, we have to give, or we can say that we have to provide all the necessary informations, answer all the questions which are asked. If we answer each and every question, that will it will complete come under the completeness of the communication skills. And it also include additional informations if desired. If anyone wants to say, we can say that anyone wants to give, or we can by this point completeness, additional information if everyone wants, we can also give by the help of completeness. So these are the 7 points or 7 C's of communication skills. And lastly, it can be said that awareness of these 7 C's of effective communication, it makes a good communicator. By applying all these 7 points in your communication skills, you become a good communicator. So the next, the importance of communication. We have read that the communication process, what is communication, what are the barriers which are used in communication, and what are the 7 C's, the basic elements of 7 C's in communication skills. The last one is communication, why we are using this communication skills. First, inspire confidence. Definitely it inspire your confidence. It build respect in business, your social life, your personal life. It also make good friends. It develops a distinct personalities in your surrounding, your professional life, and it reveals your ability to others, what you are capable to. This will can be achieved by this type of communication skills. Thank you so much.